Hey guys, what's going on? Well, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and I thought that we'd kind of just talk about what it takes to become a mobile DJ. And this is mainly going to be for newer DJs or somebody who may be thinking about getting into the mobile DJ industry. Maybe you've been watching videos and you're getting interested in becoming a mobile DJ, but you really don't know where to start. So I'm going to try to give you some tips on that. But I also think that some of the veterans will probably get something out of this too. So these are just my thoughts on this, and just to kind of give you a little bit of direction on where you want to go when you become a mobile DJ. Now, first of all, let's talk about that for a second. Here's what you don't want to do, okay? I'm going to start out telling you what you don't want to do, and then we'll talk about what you need to do to become a mobile DJ. What you don't want to do is just go down to Guitar Center or somewhere like that. Let's say you got an insane amount of money, and you just buy equipment and say, okay, I'm a mobile DJ, I'm ready to go out and go do weddings. Well, it doesn't really work that way. That's almost like saying, I can go down to a local scrub shop and get some scrub suits and you go buy a stethoscope and say I'm a doctor. Well, it doesn't work quite that way. So what you want to do is, first of all, you want to do some research. And that's the best thing that I can tell you to do. Start reading articles on how to become a mobile DJ. Watch videos. You can find a whole lot of information right here on YouTube. And make sure that this is something that you want to get involved in before you invest money in. Then the next thing I would do is I would call maybe a local DJ in your area and just ask them if you can be a roadie or something like that. Maybe volunteer to help them out. A lot of DJs would really appreciate that. And like I said, volunteer, don't try to get a paycheck or anything like that, but just something just so you can watch what they do and get kind of an idea. I know I'm actually thinking about starting an apprenticeship with my DJ service. I'm really not, thought that over too much, but I may actually think about hiring, somebody to do that and maybe work their way up into becoming a DJ and be able to handle the parties and school dances that I haven't been doing in a while. I've been mainly concentrating on weddings, but that's just something I'm thinking about. That'll be another video. But anyway, that's what I would do. I'd contact a local DJ service in your area and just tell them that, hey, I'm interested in becoming a mobile DJ. Can I come with you? Can I learn, some things? Do you need me to help maybe carry equipment or whatever the situation may be, and go and just kind of look behind the scenes and just see if this is something you really want to do. Now, one thing I do want to stress is that being a mobile DJ or a wedding DJ, as we call it, is not easy. But that doesn't mean it's not fun and it's not rewarding, okay? Anything that you work for in life isn't going to be easy. Let's take Tom Brady, for example. He is a multi-million-dollar quarterback. He's won a lot of Super Bowl rings and things of that nature. Now, he loves what he does, playing football. But I bet you if you were to call Tom Brady right now and ask him if playing football is easy, he's going to tell you, no, it's not easy. But that doesn't mean he doesn't love what he does. And it's the same thing in our industry as well. We make it look easy when you watch our gig logs, and it looks like it's a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun. But again, there is a lot of work that you have to put into it, and a lot of people really just don't want to put in the work that it takes. They just want to do the fun end of it, but there is a lot of work that you have to do. There's a lot of business ends of it, and there's really a lot that goes in to being a mobile DJ. So what you see on a gig log when you watch us at a wedding or something like that, that's really just kind of scratching the surface, and I'm sure a lot of vets will agree with me on that. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you talk to a mobile DJ in your area and ask them if you can volunteer and go and help them out. Maybe carry equipment, help them set things up, that kind of thing, and just really see what you want to do. Next thing I would recommend, again, is making sure you do your research online. Look at videos. You may also want to consider going to Mobile Beat Las Vegas before you ever even become a mobile DJ. That way, you can go and go to some seminars, you can network with other DJs. I'll tell you something, Mobile Beat Las Vegas is the best place to go. I mean, I consider that my continuing education. And this was my 11th year that I went to just this past March. And, I go every year. I've already got my pass for next year. So, we definitely recommend going to a Mobile Beat Las Vegas. But like I said, you can learn a lot of seminars. You can learn how to... basic trades. You can also network with other DJs and they can give you advice and things of that nature. So there's nothing, there's not really, what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that, there's really no shortage of learning when it comes to Mobile Beat Las Vegas. So that's something I would recommend doing as well. And then what I would also recommend doing is when you do decide you want to get into this, you've researched it, you've gone with another DJ, you've seen what all goes into it, maybe you've taken some seminars, maybe it's time now to go ahead and buy your equipment. And I'm not really going to go into what kind of equipment you should buy. That'll be for another video. But let's say you go ahead and get your mobile DJ equipment and you're ready to go out and start doing gigs. Well, the one thing I would not recommend is doing weddings right away. And you're thinking, okay, well, why is that? Well, because weddings, unlike other events, they have to be absolutely perfect. And I use this illustration a lot. If you remember when the space shuttle was flying, I don't know if too many people knew this or not, But when the space shuttle would come in for a landing, you'd see it land there at Edwards Air Force Base or Kennedy Space Center after it had been in space. The thing that people didn't understand is that the space shuttle didn't have an engine in it. It was actually a glider. And what that meant that when they were landing that space shuttle, they had to get it perfect the first time, because if they missed the runway for some reason, or they were off center or something like that, they couldn't go back up and circle back around like an airplane can. They had to get it right the first time, and that's really the way it is with weddings. That's what I really like to compare it to. You have to be perfect the first time, so you've really got to be comfortable being in front of people and knowing what you're doing when it comes to weddings. So here's what I would recommend if you decide to start your mobile DJ business. And I wouldn't do weddings right away. Like I said, I would start out with some small events, like maybe doing some, I don't know, maybe some middle school dances, or possibly some parties, house parties at people's houses, that kind of thing. Just some backyard barbecues, and really get used to being around people. Like I said, start out with some smaller events, and then maybe work up to some, maybe corporate Christmas parties or things of that nature. But you got to get used to being on the microphone and being in front of people, so to make sure that you can, handle that. And then when it comes to doing weddings, you got to do a lot of research on that, because you got to learn how to plan everything out. You got to learn, how to put a sequence of events together. You got to know how to really relate to a bride and groom. So there's really a lot of work that goes into that when it comes to doing wedding receptions. And for me personally, I would recommend probably waiting at least 2 years of doing other events before you try doing weddings. And maybe that would help you out a lot too. But if you do happen to go work for a mobile DJ company, maybe you can go with them, and they can start, having you do like little things, like maybe doing an announcement here or there, just to kind of get used to it. But like I said, it's going to take a while before you're going to be ready to do weddings. You can't just go buy equipment and just be ready to go do weddings right off the bat. It just doesn't work that way. But that's what I would do. And then that's how you build a successful business like that. And of course, we're not going to get into marketing and all that other stuff. We'll save that for another video and talk about that. But yeah, that's basically how you can get started. Like I said, the 3 things you got to keep in mind. Decide if this is really what you want to do, and do your research. Look at articles online. Look at videos. Go to Mobeat Las Vegas. Learn from some seminars, and kind of get an idea on what it entitles. Then call a local DJ in your area, go out with them, ask to volunteer to hook up equipment or carry equipment or whatever they want you to do, and then maybe they can start letting you do a few little things, learning how to do things. And then when you buy your own equipment, then to start doing small events, and then you can start doing weddings later on. So like I said, it's kind of a building process like anything else. You have to pay your dues to start out and learn how to do different things before you're ready to take on weddings. Because like I said, weddings have to be perfect. So one of the questions I've always gotten from other DJs is, how did I get started, and how did I get into the mobile DJ industry and all that good stuff? And this August is going to be marking 16 years I've been a mobile DJ and have had my DJ service. So quite proud of that. That's really good. Being in this business for 16 years, and I've learned a lot, and I've seen a lot, and experienced a lot. But we'll talk about my experiences on that in another video. But just to kind of give you an idea on how I got started, as many of you know, my passion was more for radio, and it still is. I really do have a passion for radio. That's what I've always wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. Matter of fact, I was 5 years old telling my best friend in the sandbox I was going to be on the radio when I grew up. And of course, I am working at a local radio station, actually 5 local radio stations here in town. So really, that's where it all got started, was in radio. And I went to school. I took TV broadcasting in school and learned about that because I was interested in TV as well. But what happened is once I got out of school and I ended up getting a job at a radio station here in Pensacola, I started having a lot of my listeners calling me up asking me if I do weddings, if I do school dances and parties and things of that nature. And I said, no, I never really got into that. But I really started thinking about that. I thought, you know what, that'd actually be pretty cool to be a DJ at a school dance or a party or a wedding or something like that. My sister then ended up getting married in 1998. And it was the summer of 98, and I'll never forget, we were at the reception, and I was part of the wedding party. I'd gotten announced as a groomsman, and we were sitting there watching what the DJ was doing. I was sitting there with my mom at the reception, and she looked at me and said, you know what, I really think that you could do what that guy does. Look at what he's doing, announcing the wedding party and organizing all this and everything. I really think you'd be good at that. You're on the radio right now, and I don't really think it would take much for you to become a mobile DJ. And I thought, well, you know what, that actually does sound pretty good. So she asked me to go up and talk to him after the wedding was over with, and so I did. And he gave me some pointers, and we talked about things, and I thought that was pretty neat. But it really wasn't until 2003 that I started my mobile DJ business. This was in 1998, and in between that time, I'd started doing my research. I started looking online. I started looking at different things, and decided to go ahead and start pursuing that. And I came upon a website called the DJ University. And that was really neat. I think it's still out there too. You can check it out, but it had a lot of neat articles on how to get started, and I learned a lot from that. You know, this was back when YouTube was just really in its infancy. I don't even think YouTube was even around 2000, 2001 at that particular time. But anyway, it was really neat to go to the DJ University, read all these articles, and find out a lot about mobile DJing. And I started contacting some mobile DJs and getting advice and things of that nature. So you know, like I said, it was 2003 when I first started getting into mobile DJing. And the way I started out was, of course, I went ahead and got my equipment, and I'd already had some prior experience doing some remotes and different things for the radio station, so I was used to being in front of people. So I didn't really see the need for me personally to go out with a local mobile DJ company or anything like that. Now, you know, of course, I'm the exception, not the rule. I would definitely recommend that you do that. You contact a local mobile DJ company in your area to go out and learn things. But again, I was kind of an exception to the rule when it came to that. But anyway, I got my equipment in August of 2003, and I did my very first event. It was actually at a double-wide trailer in Holt, Florida, which is just on the other side of Milton, Florida, about probably 40 to 50 miles away from Pensacola. But anyway, a small area out there was for a moving-in party for a local couple, and that was pretty fun. They were actually friends of mine, and everybody there was friends of mine. So, you know, it kind of gave me a little bit of experience learning what I was doing and getting into this business. That's really where it started out. And I didn't start out doing weddings at first. I started doing, you know, school dances. One of the very first big gigs I ever did was a high school homecoming dance, which was a lot of fun. And then I started doing, you know, like corporate Christmas parties and just some smaller events, some little fundraisers. I started doing some of those. And then it wasn't until 2004 that I actually broke into the wedding business and started doing weddings. And from there, it's just, you know, kind of grown. I mean, you know, it's always a constant learning experience too. I mean, I'm always learning new things. That's why I go to Mobile Beat every year. So anyway, that's where I got my start on that, and that kind of gives you some ideas on that. So anyway, I hope this helps you out and maybe gives you some, you know, direction on what you want to do if you want to become a mobile DJ. You know, like I said, if you have any questions at all, just feel free to drop me an email. My email address is right there on the screen. You can always drop me a personal email, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. But like I said, you know, really do your research, watch your videos, go to Mobile Beat Las Vegas, and really learn about this industry and see if it's something that you want to do. And if it is something you want to do, I'll tell you what, it really is a rewarding experience to be a mobile DJ, and it is a lot of hard work. But you know what? In the end, it really is fascinating. So yeah, that's my advice for you. And we've got more videos to come. So until next time, practice and enjoy.